Hey, what up, guys? It's been a minute. The last one I did, I was starting to channel Apollo, and oh, my nose ring is coming out. Or my nose stud. But um, what I figured out is like, let me put it this way. I've been connecting with a lot of different source beings and source gods, and it's been kind of hectic because I'm hearing a bunch of them, and my own ego is still not 100% dissolved. So I took those videos down just because um, I need to get clear. I'm still getting really clear messages sometimes, but I'm still it's still a pretty hectic time for me. But what I wanted to say in this video is that I will be channeling at some point, and once I get more clear, I'll be putting messages down, um, or sending messages and channeling like that. But right now, I wanted to talk about frequency and how I was struggling because I've found out a lot about who I am as like a star child or whatever, and I was having a lot of doubt about it. Like I had this one day where I completely just like gave up. I mean, I didn't really give up. I I started, or I just like didn't do any of my routine this one day, like 2.5 months ago or so. And then since that day, I was having like a lot of like doubt and sadness come up about some different things. But I wanted to talk about how when you find a certain, and I've talked about this before, but this really is like the most important thing about becoming a creator being yourself. And like once you awaken all of your DNA strands, like your 12 DNA strands, then you can become like a creator god yourself with a little g. I'm reading this book that was channeled by the Pleiadians, or channeled through somebody who's channeling the Pleiadians, and they were saying how humans, they only have two strands of their DNA unlocked, and once you unlock all 12, then you basically become a god in yourself, but it's God with like a little g instead of God with a big G. And God with a big G would be like prime creator, the very first being, and that being is definitely real. And I've been in contact with him, or her, because it doesn't have a sex, and it has so many different names, but yeah, I've been in contact with them, and they've been helping me kind of navigate through all these like different source beings that I've been coming into contact with. And he said, first of all, you have to like, if you he actually brought me to Egypt and showed me like the embalming, or it told me to like go research embalming. And the thing that stood out is that when an Egyptian priest, or whatever they're called, embalmer, does the process on a mummy, they remove the brain and they remove all of the organs except the heart. So what that meant to me in my head was like, okay, you remove everything from your being, and the Egyptians only focused on the heart, and what that really is finding a frequency and then emanating that frequency without thinking at all. Because once you, and like, to switch to that frequency, you have to think about it, right? But once you get a lock on that specific frequency, then it's emanating from your heart, and you don't have to use your mind at all. And I talked about this in another video, but my twin flame took me on a journey through in this meditation where it was really crazy. Like I saw this guy. I don't know who exactly it was, but they were looking at this computer screen and they were like going through my life, and they said, they're like, well, it looks like you've lived a pretty satanic life. And I was just like, oh shit, really? And then but they're like, it's okay, we'll be able to take care of it all. Kind of in like a karmic sense, you know. And then he handed me off to my twin flame, and we went in front of this big UFO looking like flying saucer, but you could see through it. And my twin flame pointed at it, and it was like, he was like, "This is us," and told me that. And then I came out of the vision, and I had this like such a warm, loving frequency that was so strong and so calming, and just, yeah, so warm and loving, you know. And that frequency is just like, it's hard to recreate that, but I can, to a certain extent. And like I said, I just have to think of that frequency and then make it come into my body, into my vessel, and then I just keep loving that frequency and loving the idea of that frequency being me. And then it takes the thought out of it, you know. If you're constantly, and like what I was saying about all that, the doubt energy and stuff that I was coming across, that it wasn't, I mean, first of all, you have to realize that it's not really you, you know. That doubt of who you are is like the energy that the cabal is trying to make you believe, because they want to be the controllers of this reality instead of you. And yeah, so once you tune into a frequency, say you want to manifest something. If you can think about seeing that path, and then imagine that that vision, and of you imagining whatever that path is to manifest, if you can imagine that becoming a frequency, and then put that into your heart, like send it from your brain into your heart, and then emanate it throughout your entire body. And then the key to it is a lack of expectation, not expecting anything, and which is really just not thinking and being in the moment. And yeah, that was my second one, just being in the moment with that frequency. You know, you can constantly be amplifying that frequency that you're tuned into, um, because you're being, and being is the true state of life. You know, it's in humans, originally we weren't supposed to be constantly analyzing and thinking, because that takes us out of the moment, and it was just supposed to be a frequency thing. And I think that's how like the Pleiadians and all these different ETs, they just tune into a frequency, and they're just being and observing. You know, they become the observer while tuning into different frequencies, and feeling different frequencies is like the name of the game for us. You know, we can have so many different experiences based off of frequency. You know, like I guess I can talk about this, but like having sex with somebody, it's a completely different experience if you're being and truly being in the moment, because you can tune into that other person's frequency and mix it with your own and create this whole new frequency. And uh, it becomes like a fun game, you know. Um, that being said, I don't think having sex with a bunch of people is healthy at all. But in a perfect world, like obviously I have a twin flame, and I think that's like the pinnacle of what I could experience with somebody sexually, because I've had all these visions and experiences with him already. But yeah, in a perfect world where there's no like STDs and everybody's in a state of love and presence, you know, then that would be an amazing part about it, is we could play with our orgasm energy and create these new frequencies to experience, and emanate, you know, and have fun and be in joy with everyone, you know. And like that's another thing about like being at a party or something, you know. Like I see eventually, probably without alcohol, you know, and but everybody kind of melding into one like a unit, you know, or unity, and blending our frequencies together to generate this this experience, right? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. If you're going through anything, oh, I actually wanted to talk about another thing. Um, so I went back and watched one of the first videos that I ever made, and I think I've talked about like I stared at the sun for a while when I was in India, and it's it kind of like I don't know. I shouldn't get into that too much, but anyway, I looked at this old video of mine. I started staring at my third eye, like right here in the video. And then I imagined like splitting my third eye open in the video and then like sending, consciously sending like that unity field that you can feel, that consciousness field in between us. And immediately I felt this huge download or I don't know. It was like I was connecting with my old brain and I was giving myself a download or like almost like a reset. And like I said, I've kind of been whacked out uh, the last couple months just because that doubt and sadness energy that was coming in. But when I did that, it like immediately brought me down to like it felt like almost this oh it was probably a frequency thing, I probably tuned into the frequency that I was at when I made that video back then, and then I tuned to that frequency specifically in my third eye and like in my brain and stuff, and then yeah, it really reset me, and it was really cool to experience that. um I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, just being in love all the time, and when you tune into those frequencies, loving that frequency is really important about it. Um, but yeah, when you get lost, just remember, or if you ever get lost, you're going on this path of ascension, and you get dropped back down. You always have to remember to take your mind and your thoughts out of the equation and tune into those specific frequencies, and be in love with those frequencies and be in love with yourself, and it can help out a lot. Yeah, guys, thumbs up, peace.